The two power-hungry, egotistical, most powerful Supes to ever grace their presence on Earth are up against each other in Season 3, with them having a battle in Herogasm and it not necessarily going how I would have expected. I thought I'd put the two up against each other and see who would win when they eventually face off against each other in an environment where it would just be the two of them. So let's get into it. Here is Homelander vs Soldier Boy, who will win in The Boys Season 3. Just to let you know, this video will contain spoilers. With Soldier Boy and Homelander coming head to head in episode 6, following Homelander having the intentions of eliminating him as a threat, we saw the pair have a fight inside of the lodge. It didn't go how I expected it to. Soldier Boy looked strong, but it seemed as though he needed the assistance of both Huey and Butcher to be able to get Homelander in any kind of vulnerable position. I personally thought that it was going to be more even than what it was, but it may well be because we've not seen the full wrath of Soldier Boy. When looking at their powers, both of the Supes hold one of their main abilities as being super strength. However, one of the Supes does take the edge slightly. Homelander is referred to as the strongest man to have ever graced the Earth, a title which Soldier Boy did once hold. Until Homelander was formed, we've seen both of them exert the use of their superhuman strength in the past. For example, Homelander on all occasions that we've seen him throughout the 3 seasons, and Soldier Boy mainly in the flashbacks in episode 3, where we saw him take on multiple soldiers at once, where it didn't look like it required that much effort or energy for him to do so. Taking that fact into account, and also when we saw them one-on-one in episode 6, I would say that Homelander's super strength does seem more superior to Soldier Boy's, as Soldier Boy was in a far more vulnerable position when they were attacking each other, thus making Homelander's strength more powerful than Soldier Boy's. With regards to a defense mechanism and their durability and resilience to impact, toxins, and weapons, they are both very similar. Homelander is described as being immune to everything from every weapon out there, to nuclear explosions, to even surviving in space. And Soldier Boy is also similar. He's withstood the largest of impacts, is impenetrable by bullets, and even the toxins or the radiation that he emits. In the battle that we witnessed in Herogasm, we saw both Soldier Boy and Homelander bear the brunt of some of the real force of each other. Soldier Boy never showed any signs of lasting damage from the battle, whereas for the first time in the show's history, we saw that Homelander had a bruise on his face. This is something that we've not encountered before on the character, and could show that he could be slightly more susceptible to damage than what Soldier Boy was. So based on the one showdown that we've had so far between the pair, I'd have to give this one to Soldier Boy. Speed is another area which the two Supes hold in their arsenal. Homelander has speed when he's flying, to the point where speed is not compromised at all when he's in the air. In fact, he can keep up with and move faster than the jets in the sky, and alongside that, he also has super speed when he's on the ground. Homelander can break the sound barrier when he's moving, and this is something that we don't often see him do, but we know he has the capabilities of achieving. He's able to move faster than is physically possible for the human eye to see, which is extremely impressive. We don't often see Homelander use it in battles, which does confuse me, but I presume it's hard to do when in the moment, or it could take up more energy when in close combat. Soldier Boy, however, despite having speed, he doesn't have it to the same level as what Homelander does. Soldier Boy has enhanced reflexes and is able to dodge attacks when necessary, and he's able to charge at great force. But moving beyond the speed of sound and the capability of reaching speeds unrecognizable by the human eye, that's something that he can't unfortunately beat Homelander on. So Homelander would have to take this one. This is where we have the Supes branch off in a different sense, and deal with their specialized powers. Homelander has vision-specific enhancements, and Soldier Boy has the ability to shoot out blasts of radiation. When we look at Homelander's laser vision, this is quite literally one of the most powerful things that he holds. He can use it for a wide array of different things. He can use it to tear through objects, which we've seen him be able to use on anything, cutting them into pieces. He can use it to emit a force to simply move people where he pleases, which doesn't cause lasting harm, or he can use them to burn through to people's cores and allow them to essentially melt away completely. It's a scary power that Homelander has, and is able to generate almost immediately. Alongside this, he also has X-ray vision, which allows him to see through buildings, objects, and even inside of people. However, the only thing that it's restricted to is zinc. He's unable to utilize those powers when zinc is present, so his vision is something that's definitely a strong part of his arsenal. Soldier Boy's radioactive capabilities came to him after the Russians had experimented on him, and had injected all of the toxins into his system. We've seen him use this power on multiple occasions since his arrival partway through Season 3. Since then, there have been a few revelations. We know it has the power to quite literally obliterate anything and anybody that's in its path, tearing down the building in the city, and also the TNT Twins Lodge that was used for Herogasm. We've also seen that it can essentially cause people to disintegrate into dust, and for those who are strong enough to withstand the blast, it has the capability of being able to strip the Compound V out of their system, rendering them to the state that they were in before they were given the V, just like a regular human. So it's extremely powerful. Another arm to it that we're yet to see be explored is the fact that just by merely being around Soldier Boy for long periods of time, the radiation that he emits can impact the people that he spends the most time with, which can be extremely damaging. A Supe may not even know it, but their powers would become unusable by just being in his presence for a long period of time. The only weakness to it is the fact that it has to be charged up, and I imagine if Homelander had room and the time in the air, he'd be able to strike him before he could even emit it. We saw the TNT Twins even have time to be able to try and utilize their powers. However, due to them being out of practice, they were unable to do so. So if Homelander were to be there, one-on-one with Soldier Boy, I imagine he'd be able to prevent the blast from happening. So I think taking this into consideration, I would have to give this one to Homelander too. That is the main bulk of powers that Soldier Boy holds, but alongside all of these, Homelander also has the ability of an enhancement of many other senses, such as hearing and smell, so he's able to know what's going on and trace people by using his hearing and his smell, which can come at a great advantage. And he also holds the individual ability to fly, some additional powers that Soldier Boy doesn't hold. The main weakness that Homelander holds is that of his mental state. Throughout the season, we've seen it deteriorate more and more, and his paranoia and fear of people rising up and conspiring against him is at its highest. This essentially renders him to a state where he's blindsided by what's going on, and could potentially lead him into a position of weakness, due to the fact that he's not 100% focused on the plan at hand, and is acting on emotions. Soldier Boy's weaknesses lie in being able to be detected due to the radiation that he emits, which could cause a problem when trying to lay low. However, I'm pretty certain that Homelander would likely hear, smell, or see him coming prior to that. And also the amount of time it takes him to charge up his radiation blast. We've seen it take several seconds, and as mentioned earlier, it can buy the right Supe the correct amount of time to be able to act before Soldier Boy does. I would say that based on their individual powers and weaknesses, I think if the two were to cross paths again in a one-on-one environment, I would say that Homelander would be the superior Supe and defeat Soldier Boy for sure. We got glimpses of that in episode 6, where Soldier Boy clearly needed the assistance of Huey and Butcher to contain Homelander, and even then, once contained by all three, Homelander was able to evade in the time it took Soldier Boy to charge up his powers. So in a one-on-one, I would say that Homelander would take the win. So, there you have it. A theory on who would win when Soldier Boy and Homelander eventually face off. If you want to see more videos on the boys such as Ending Explains, theories and predictions, or character breakdowns, then click on the I button. Or alternatively, you can head over to my channel where you'll find them all. If you'd like to give me a show or movie that you'd like me to review next, then head over to my Twitter, @BrainPilot_, and tweet me what show or movie you'd like me to review next. And finally, if you want to see what I rate movies that don't quite make the cut to getting a dedicated video, then head over to my Letterboxd profile. It's where I rate the latest releases in real time. Who do you think would win? Leave a comment down below, and don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you next time.